Hi there, I'm William Brockoff, owner of Vermont Backcountry Cottages, and I just wanted to give you a very quick tutorial. I want 3 logs across the bottom such that they're kind of like the foundation for the fire that you're going to build above them. The outer logs you want to kind of be level so that when you build your little log cabin on top, it's fairly level. The middle one just kind of lays in there and takes up the space. The idea here being that this is kind of an upside down fire with the big wood on the bottom and the kindling on top. And I've learned that in these wood stoves, it really is a really effective fire to get going and keep going, because as the kindling burns, all those embers drop right onto the larger logs and keep the fire going. And then once the kindling is ignited, then you can put larger, medium-sized pieces up on top until you get a bed of coals going. Okay, so the way that this stove works is you have a door here where the firebox is, locks like that. The Palladian's not very different. This is the catalytic converter knob, and it gets pulled down when the firebox is hot enough. More on that later. In the back of both stoves, you have the damper. On my hybrid steel, it's a really big damper, but the function is the same. The Palladian has a really small little damper right here. Top is open, down is closed, but same thing. When you start the fire, the damper is always all the way up or at 4. So when I build a fire in the Woodstock stoves, I have 3 larger logs at the bottom. Generally, if you kind of make them a little bit even on the sides, it's easier to build your log cabin above it. Each of the cottages is equipped with a splitter and a mallet, so you can make these small pieces of kindling, I'd say 1/2 or 3/4 of an inch. So I'd go about 4 rows up usually, and just fill it with paper. Please only use like newspaper or clean white paper, left over from printing, or grocery bags. Please don't put any cardboard in here, and no ink, paper with ink on it, like a glossy finish. None of your beer cartons, none of that stuff can get burnt in here. Please recycle that outside, and that'll keep everybody safe. So I also usually, when I put the paper in, I kind of leave some pieces out here to make it easy to start. And it's very important to remember, when you start these stoves, you get it lit. Once you can see that it's taking here pretty well, you can feel the draft right now coming past my hand. So I usually leave it like that. So it's not locked, it's just pushed up against the metal. And that leaves you like a 1/2 inch or so in there where you can get a draft through. But if you leave it open more than this, like even that far, it's very likely that a lot of smoke will start coming out of this stove. And in fact, the Palladian, if you open this up too much, smoke will start pouring out of the back of it. So you really need to keep in mind that once you get it lit, keep it closed, except for that little bit of draft space. You can see there's quite a bit of smoke, and as soon as this starts going, and it goes pretty fast, you'll have to close the door, or the smoke will start pouring out, and you can hear it really pulling a draft now. So now another 3 or 4 minutes has passed, and the log I put on top is well underway. I'm going to put one more medium-sized piece on, and then I'm going to shut the door and lock it. Once the door is shut and locked and the draft is completely shut off, you'll notice that the flames will definitely die down. You might get some black discoloration on the glass here. That's just part of the process. It's normal. Once you get a real hot bed of coals going in the firebox, and you've got a nice smooth burn going, the black will more than likely disappear. The fire will kind of burn it off, or at least burn it more even. So you'll see the temperature gauges now are each climbing. There's one about 8 inches above the stove itself, and then, you know, usually there's, this one has 3 on it, but usually there's just 2. And that measures the flue a little bit further up where it should be a little bit cooler. So we're at about 350 degrees up high and 375 down low. We're well within the range to turn on the catalytic converter, but in my opinion, it's too early. I think the fire should get established quite a bit more. Now that the temperature gauges are well up in the center, sort of silver area there, we can throw the catalytic converter handle. This is going to slowly lower the flames. It's going to get a lot less active in there, and the behavior of the flames will change a bit. So after we do this, we'll wait a while, and then we'll start slowly closing the damper and decreasing the airflow to the firebox. So now the stove has been burning for about an hour. The catalytic converter has been thrown, and it's really getting quite warm. So now it's time to start thinking about damping down the stove. So on this one, as I said, it's a larger lever, and I'm just going to go down to 3 from 4. You can do the same thing on the Palladians at the other cottages. It's just a smaller damper down near the right rear. Bring it down 1 notch at a time, and I wouldn't really go below 1. That's way too. It's not enough oxygen. The firebox will fill up with smoke, and you get some back puffing. So, you know, bring it down to 2, maybe 1.5, and that's about as low as you'd want to go.